Mike Rowe here with a radical idea. If you want to see more companies make more things in this country, buy more things from more companies who make things in this country. I refer in this case to the incredible t-shirts, sweatshirts, blue jeans, and more made by my friends at American Giant. Everything American Giant makes is made in the United States. And right now, you can take 20% off your first order at american-giant.com/Mike. That's american-giant.com/Mike.
New Bedford, welcome to the Phil Paleologus Show. With updates and breaking news from the WBSM newsroom and on the WBSM app. And your calls and conversation at 508-996-0500. Here he is, New Bedford's #1 talk show host, WBSM's Morning Mayor, Phil Paleologus.
I love surprises. I love Christmas gifts. And guess what, folks? We're going to open one on the air. A very special surprise coming up next. Don't go away.
Barry Richard.
Your Christmas gift, Chelsea Priest, is visiting us. Yay!
Good morning, Phil. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Oh, my goodness. I miss you so much.
Oh, you have no idea, Chelsea. Oh, my God. First of all, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really great. I miss you all. I miss all of our listeners and all of the viewers, and everybody's been so wonderful, wishing me well over the past few weeks. I did start a new job, and it's actually outside of TV, so it's been a little bit of a shift, but I'm not waking up at 2 a.m. anymore. And I have some nice breaks and things like that, which is things are a little bit, there's some more normalcy, I should say.
Yeah.
You all know that I just got married about 7 months ago, so it's been nice to spend additional time with Jonathan and just have more of a bit of a normal life outside of TV, but I do miss it a lot, and I miss you all. I work now for the state of Rhode Island. I got a job with the Department of Environmental Management, and I'm working in the Air Resources Department, and we're working on climate change and mobile emissions and pollution and so many important things, and it's important work that's being done, and I'm really excited. It's been like learning another language over the past few weeks,
Really?
But I'm really starting to dive in. A lot of detail, a lot of regulations and legislations and all of that. So it's been really, really interesting to learn what not only Rhode Island, I mean, most of the regional states are all on the same path. So it's been really interesting the past few weeks.
Wow. And are you going to utilize television at all in your job, or?
So I think that the team that I'm on will be utilizing me for some communication sides of things, because I'm more comfortable, I guess. You know, I've had that experience, and it's something that comes easily to me sometimes, you know, as long as I'm well aware of what I'm talking about and what's going on. So I think that will be utilized, but not so much the day-to-day popping up here and there. So we'll have to check in every now and again with you.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
I know. And yesterday was your birthday.
Oh,
I know. Did you have a wonderful birthday?
You bet. We had a double birthday, Chelsea. It's also our Andrea's birthday.
Yes. That's so special. So special, Phil. I hope you both had such a great day. And any big holiday plans?
Well, family, let's see. Church first, and thank goodness it's early. It's like 6 o'clock for a change.
Okay. Nice.
And then
That's not terrible.
we go over the in-laws and have some delicious Cape Verdean favorites.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay. Lovely.
Now listen to this. Christmas Day, right? In the evening, after let's say 4 or 5 o'clock, you and Jonathan are more than welcome to come over to our open house.
That's so nice.
You're more than welcome. You know?
Oh, wow.
So
that's so great. You just have an open house for everybody that's around.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
That's lovely.
Yep.
That's really lovely. That's a nice thing to do, Phil. We'll be bopping around all over. Well, luckily, both of our parents live in Warwick, so that makes it a little bit easier. But we'll be you will be bopping around from house to house both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but that's what's so great. I love it so much. So it's such a special time of year.
You bet. Do you
Bill
look?
was born, and it's Christmas. You can't beat that.
Oh my gosh! Absolutely.
Oh, I love it.
Chelsea,
I love it, Phil.
do you miss being on days like today when you see these storms?
Oh my gosh.
Huh?
I know. It's funny to check in on a day like today where I'm not here for a weather update. I'm just here to actually check in. No, I hope everybody's safe and that these winds are whipping. I can hear it.
Yeah.
It's been, I won't lie, there's another meteorologist on the team that I work on, and he and I are definitely always keeping an eye on what's going on with the day-to-day weather. And with something like this, we've been talking about it all week. So I'm still getting some forecasting in on the side. It is always exciting on days like this, as long as everybody stays safe. But that's the whole point, is to hopefully prepare people so that they are safe.
That's right.
Those days are exciting, but those days are long, and those days are long leading up to the actual event. So I'm not going to lie, it's nice to be cozy at home right now, not out trying to navigate driving through this or trying to get around. So I have a nice long weekend over Christmas. So.
I love it.
That's very nice. But I give props to all of my friends, my meteorologist friends who are in the thick of it right now. This is a big one, and so. There's so many different factors of it with the rain and wind today, and then it's going to be so cold this weekend, Phil.
I know it. I know.
It's going to be so cold. A cold Christmas. So I still do kind of pay attention.
Yes.
Maybe not quite as detailed as before, but it's been a good transition. So, but I really do. I mean, I miss chatting with you. I miss chatting with everybody else. That's probably the biggest takeaway from stepping back for right now. So
I think I went, and I might still be in a little depression because of you leaving.
No.
Come here.
No.
I
Phil.
adore you. I mean it, Chelsea.
And you know I feel the same, Phil.
Thank you.
I do. Oh, my goodness. I hope everybody has such a wonderful holiday. I'm so happy that we were able to touch base, and we'll do it again.
Yes,
Another little bit.
Exactly.
We'll check in periodically.
And Chelsea, you're in the center of our love, our gratitude. We just miss the hell out of you. We do.
Miss you too. Phil, you know what I need.
Yes, absolutely. The hug is right here.
I need a radio hug. Oh, thank you.
I lost my balance. Wait.
Oh, no. Thank you, Phil. Thank you. And Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank
to you and
you.
your family, Phil, and to everybody out there. I hope everybody has a wonderful, happy, safe weekend, and we'll chat soon, okay?
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Chelsea. Love you so much.
Love you, too. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye. Chelsea Priest, our former ABC6 Storm Tracker meteorologist.
Take the Morning Mayor wherever you go. Download the WBSM app.
A lot of things feel out of control these days. So it's time you pick your battles. Skip playing referee in the morning. Skip laundry this week. Skip game limits today. Skip cooking tonight. New realities require new routines, and it's okay to skip some of the old ones. But don't skip your preteens' well visits and recommended and catch-up vaccinations. A public service announcement from Vaccinate Your Family in collaboration with Merck.
If a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just close the door on earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes and hope they go away. That's why it's important to make a plan now. Ready.gov/plan has the tools and tips you need to prepare your family for an emergency. So if disaster shows up at your doorstep, you'll be ready. Visit ready.gov/plan and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Good morning. Great to have you with us at 7:19. It's all about connection, folks. If you want something successful, you need to connect, whether it's with the issue, with the person, But connection makes action. That's the whole key, whether it's politics or whether it's business. That's where it's at. Good to have you with us. Why do I bring it up? Because Chelsea Priest has an enormous following. Enormous in 3 states, because, of course, Channel 6 goes into Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. But she is loved by so many, and it's because of that connection. All right. I remember telling our employees, I know I'm repetitive from time to time, but I said, you don't have a long time to approach the table of guests at the diner. And in the nicest way, make eye contact, smile. And can you get them to like you in 10 seconds?
Get breaking news alerts, stream audio, send us text messages, and get live traffic and weather updates all on the WBSM app. Download it now from your app store or at WBSM.com.
Interesting article in the New Bedford Light yesterday about Ed Markey and Seth Moulton, who've unveiled a plan to create a federal fund that would be used to compensate our fishing industry with any losses that's related to the development of offshore wind farms. And that appeared in the New Bedford Light. They reported that Markey and Moulton, their legislation would require all at-sea wind farm developers to set aside compensation funds and provide federal oversight over their distribution. So that's a very important story, and one that will definitely keep following. As we thank you for tuning in on this Christmas Eve. Humbug. Yep, it seems it is, right? High electricity rates, they're going to go soaring too. And this is this winter, folks. And they're not just trying to sensationalize this. However, the electric rates zap not only holiday displays, but homeowners are saying that they haven't put out as many decorations and lights this year because of that, because of the high electricity costs and rising. So one of the reasons this year that you don't see all of that glitter maybe is because it's getting to be very expensive. It's also the inauguration of the incoming governor is in the works. And where is it going to be? I'm glad you asked. At the TD Garden, all right, January the 5th. And that's all I can tell you, all righty? Also, just one-fourth of state prison inmates who applied for medical parole during the last fiscal year were granted early release. There's a new report from the Department of Corrections that says that the agency approved 17 requests for early release last year due to dire medical issues out of the 67 that it had received. Hello there. How are you? Getting up? All right, good. As long as you keep going. 7:23. By the way, it's very mild out.
Take the Morning Mayor wherever you go. Download the WBSM app.
At Shriners Hospitals for Children, there are a million reasons to share love. My buddy Caleb is one of them. This is his story.
Hi, I'm Caleb. I was born with spinal bone disease. I have broken my bones almost 200 times, and I have had 11 surgeries. But I didn't let that stop me.
There are a million reasons to share love, but you only need one. To learn how you can share love, visit loveshriners.org.
Back to the Morning Mayor, Phil Paleologos on 1420 WBSM, New Bedford's news talk station.
It was very nice of Governor Baker to call in yesterday, and his mission was to just say thank you. he has made some very strong and wonderful friendships here on the South Coast, because whenever the administration would come down, this is their method of government. They would get together with local government officials, and their philosophy was the people in the community know what the problem is, so let them tell you, and then you go together and find some creative way to solve it, which makes 100% sense. So I was very happy to see that he called in. I wrote an article at WBSM.com, but part of the conversation yesterday, we can't be all serious, right? The governor was hinting for a little grandfatherly advice, because it is some good news that he and Lauren, his wife, will be grandparents for the first time pretty soon. So we talked about raising Cain. And he says, I can't wait to get on the floor and play with him. All right. But you have to get something straight, Governor. You have to let him or her know that she or he is part of the cleanup.
If a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just close the door on earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes and hope they go away. That's why it's important to make a plan now. Ready.gov/plan has the tools and tips you need to prepare your family for an emergency. So if disaster shows up at your doorstep, you'll be ready. Visit ready.gov/plan and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Good morning, 727. Very mild out there. It's raining and it's in the lower 50s. Talking about Governor Baker, he says hands off on Prop 2.5. Yeah, he's not in favor of anyone touching Prop 2.5. At least that's what Governor Baker had to say in an exit interview with John Keller on WBZ and in excerpts that I was watching earlier this morning. The outgoing governor talked taxes and concerns for the message that was sent in November by, the passage of the millionaire's tax. And there's going to be a lot of consequences. A lot of consequences, folks. I just have that feeling in my gut. And it won't be, good consequences. It could be issues that are associated with this millionaire's tax that I don't think are going to be good for the Commonwealth. That said, we can argue about that down the road. I know the governor said that everyone's starting to call this Taxachusetts again, and he said whether the Prop 2.5, the ballot law that caps the annual growth in property taxes, could be at risk. And the governor said that during his 8 years, Prop 2.5 was sacrosanct. All right? It was sacrosanct. And so he acknowledged that the idea of tinkering with it or scrapping the law is always lurking just behind the surface. But he said, I think doing anything to Prop 2.5 would be a huge mistake. And you can see that interview on WBC. I am in agreement with the outgoing governor on that. Over in Fall River, it's amnesty. Amnesty? What's this all about? Oh, the city of Fall River has announced trash amnesty. That's right. And we'll tell you about tree collections and holiday trash collections and all of those trees by the side of the road. Oh, boy. I hope there's not a lot of mattresses. Anyway, let's get into the newsroom right now. Phil Devitt has been here all morning long. Fabulous job, Phil. What's going on?
Thank you, Phil. Well, we're tracking the weather locally, but it's a crazy situation nationally as well, so we're not alone here. A major winter storm keeps disrupting holiday travel. FlightAware says more than 3,000 flights have been canceled in the United States so far today, including more than 60% of all flights in and out of Cleveland and 55% of all flights in and out of Buffalo, New York. Boston Logan as well has its fair share. On Thursday, over 10,000 U.S. flights were delayed and more than 2,600 were canceled. And the brutally cold winter storm that's chilling much of the nation is now blamed for at least 3 deaths. The National Weather Service in New York calling the holiday storm a once-in-a-generation event. Colorado, Montana, and Wyoming saw breathtaking temperature plunges, and more than a dozen other states had readings below zero on Thursday. The House committee investigating last year's attack on the U.S. Capitol is releasing its long-awaited final report. NBC's Bree Jackson reports on their findings, concluding that former President Trump is largely to blame.
Trump planned to urge his supporters to march to the U.S. Capitol, outlining a fake elector scheme formed by the Trump campaign and saying it was all part of a multi-step effort devised and driven by Donald Trump to overturn the 2020 election.
The 8-chapter report, comprised of 845 total pages, was made public late yesterday. Its release comes just days after the panel voted unanimously to recommend criminal charges against the former president over his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. The committee held nearly a dozen public presentations, interviewed more than 1,000 witnesses, and poured over thousands of documents as part of the 18-month probe. Congress has approved a bill to expand the federal government's power to prosecute international war crime suspects who are in the U.S. The bill allows them to be tried in a federal court regardless of the nationality of the suspect or the victim or where the crime was committed. The bipartisan bill now goes to President Biden. And speaking of President Biden, he's calling for unity as Americans ready to celebrate the holidays.
So this Christmas, let's spread a little kindness. This Christmas, let's be that helping hand, that strong shoulder, that friendly voice when no one else seems to care for those who are struggling. It just might be the best gift you can ever give.
In a Christmas address from the White House, Biden says there's more that unites us than which divides us. He said he hopes 2023 will be the year the nation drains the poison, to use his words, that has infected politics and turned Americans against one another. Companies that make medicines for children say they're running around the clock to meet rising demand. The pediatric medication makers told the White House Thursday they're operating 24/7 as parents across the country continue to face medicine shortages brought on by the spread of COVID-19, the flu, and RSV. Civil rights icon Emmett Till may soon be honored with a Congressional Gold Medal. Till was a 14-year-old black boy who was lynched in Mississippi in 1955 after being accused of offending a white woman. On Wednesday, the House passed a bill that would honor Emmett and his mother, civil rights activist Mamie Till Mobley, with the nation's highest civilian honor. And police in a small Kentucky city were relieved this week when a call about a man exposing himself outside a house turned out to be a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation holiday decoration. Michael Kastner with the bizarre story.
The elaborate decoration on a lawn in Shepherdsville, about 20 miles south of Louisville, was built around a mannequin decked out as the movie's obnoxious Uncle Eddie, played by Randy Quaid.
Yeah, if you don't remember, this here is Rocky. Have you got a kiss for me? You better take a rain check on that, Art. He's got a lip fungus they ain't identified yet.
The woman who owns the house said National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is her favorite Christmas movie, and next year she plans to expand her display to include more characters from the movie.
And this here's our pride and joy, Snots.
I'm Michael Kastner.
In sports, the Boston Bruins beat the Winnipeg Jets 3-2 at TD Garden on Thursday. They play the New Jersey Devils on the road tonight at 7. The Celtics are home versus the Minnesota Timberwolves this evening, game at 7:30. And the New England Patriots play the Cincinnati Bengals tomorrow at 1. And now for a closer look at the weather at home with ABC6 meteorologist Nick Morganelli.
A gusty, potentially damaging wind this morning with heavy rain at times, temperatures in the 50s. This afternoon, the rain will end. It will continue to be windy. Temperatures will drop through the 40s and 30s. So tonight, slippery driving, scattered snow showers, a wind chill heading to 0 as temperatures fall into the teens late evening.
Right now it's 54 degrees in New Bedford, so we're due for a temperature plunge in a little while. I'm Phil Devitt for WBSM News. You can stay up to date with New Bedford's news talk station, 1420 WBSM, and get breaking news alerts, podcasts, and your up-to-the-minute forecasts with the WBSM app.
He's Phil Paleologos. He's the morning mayor. He's dependable, like the all-new Ford F-150. Test drive one today at Wareham Ford, 1420 WBSM.
We're doing well this morning. We go from Phil in the newsroom to John LeBoutelier straight ahead. Don't go away.
Disagree with our talk?
Prize for you. First, Chelsea Priest said hello, and now John Mitchell, Mayor of New Bedford. Good morning.
Good morning, Phil. How are you?
Doing well.
Happy belated birthday. It was yesterday, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's coming back to me now. My father's birthday is also December 22nd. You share a birthday with him. I forgot all about that. Well, happy birthday to you.
Thank you, and to your dad.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thanks. I'll pass it along. So listen, before we talk Christmas, I do want to talk about the storm this morning. So I've been driving around the South End, and it's a significant storm. I posted a couple of videos on Facebook and Twitter just so people can see it. But don't go near Padenham Avenue. There's a flood. It's all flooded there. High tide just hit, peak high tide. So it's the worst. We've already experienced the worst of it, but it's still pretty bad. And then along the peninsula, both beaches are submerged. And, we've got some flooding on East Rodney French. So the police are out. They're going to remove people who are getting too close to the water. So please don't go spectate this morning down there. Because it's not a good place to be right now. But this storm, by the way, the water will recede, but I think everybody needs to understand that temperatures are going to plummet. And tonight it's going to be in the teens, down from 50-something degrees right now. So all the wetness you see outside right now, It's all going to freeze over. It's going to be a skating rink. So people should just be really cognizant of that, especially because there's going to be a lot of people out tonight, opposite the eve of Christmas Eve, and so people are out and about, but just be really careful. And here in the South End, one other thing, Phil, I want to say is there are trash barrels down everywhere because of the high winds. If people can just pick up a little bit, it would be greatly appreciated by the folks in the city who try to keep things clean.
Absolutely.
So if you can help out, that would be great.
Absolutely. This is a great surprise. I hope the listeners got the information about the South End especially. And do you have any plans for Christmas?
Yeah, just having family over. My girls are all home now. My elder two, Grace and Natalie, are in college now, but they're back, and so everybody's home. So looking forward to it. I just wanted to extend my wishes to you and Celeste and your family for a great Christmas, and to all the listeners. And we had a really strong 2023, and we're 2022, and we're looking forward to a great 2023. But I hope everyone out there has an opportunity to relax and connect with their loved ones. That's what the holidays are about, and I wish everyone the best.
Like you. Thank you, Mayor. Love having you on. We'll keep repeating the information. Phil Devitt was taking notes. And same to all of your family, Mayor. All the very, very best.
You bet. Thanks so much, Phil. Take care and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you, Mayor. John Mitchell there, as we are going to take a very quick break, and then John LeBoutelier joins us.
Take the Morning Mayor wherever you go. Download the WBSM app.
You better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's coming. He's making a...
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to December 23rd. Let's see, this is Christmas Eve, according to John LeBoutelier, who's like a Christmas present. Good morning and Merry Christmas, John.
Merry Christmas to you, Phil, everybody at WBSM, and everybody listening. I hope everybody's going to have a happy feeling all weekend and next week. And it's a great period of the year, Christmas.
It
barring, disasters and weather problems and all. But, I mean, the spirit should be good.
Yes, exactly. And, it's good for us to, if we're stuck in a corner, kind of, get a little breathing room in there and do things that are a little different, a little different thinking over the holiday, right?
I think that's a great idea. I'm actually doing that myself with some of my friends and cousins. Yeah, it's good.
I wanted to ask, the music that I just played was Arthur Godfrey. You remember him?
I do. As a kid, Arthur Godfrey was huge, had a TV show, as I recall.
Yep.
And did he also do every year a New Year's thing?
I
See, the guy who did the countdown, somebody did a show.
That was Dick Clark.
Of Chris. No, not Dick Clark. Dick Clark was my life, too. I loved him. But there was something else I thought Arthur Godfrey did. But anyway, it was great music back then,
There you go. I thought you had a connection.
It was great.
There.
It was Nat King Cole.
Oh, yeah.
Nat King Cole, I can remember, it shows how the weather has changed, too. So my father took me down to get a haircut when I was about 6 in the barber shop in the village of Westbury where we lived. And everything was Christmased up with lights over the street. And I'm sitting in the barber chair, and Nat King Cole's singing Christmas music is piped in through the town.
Mm-hmm.
And it was snowing. And it never snows anymore. I mean, you haven't had any snow yet this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had any snow.
Yeah.
I know that America's getting a lot of snow, but we don't get it anymore. Rarely does it snow, and especially not by December 25th. It does snow a little bit January and February, but there's no doubt the climate has changed somewhat from 50, 60 years ago.
And you think we're getting less snow nowadays than we did back in the...
I do. Well, us on the coast, yeah. I mean, like all the ponds around here in Long Island. When I was a kid, we went ice skating and played hockey on them.
Yeah.
None of them are frozen now. It's 48 degrees right now. It's not going to have any ice. They were frozen solid for months when I was a kid, and it was the most fun. Our parents would take us to a pond and bring hot chocolate, and we'd bring our skates, and all the kids would get into their skates with our parents out on the pond. It was cold as hell. You get back with a runny nose to the shore of the pond and have cups of hot chocolate out of a thermos. And it was so fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. But there's no ice anymore.
Yeah, I know it. Can you do me a favor and explain what the heck this the Senate passed with this? All I can talk about is $1.7 trillion bill. What is this $1.7 trillion bill?
Well, this is the budget for our government.
Right.
From now through the month of September of the coming year. So they've done it and put other stuff in there, too. So in the Senate bill, they've reformed the Electoral Count Act or Electoral Vote Act as a result of the January 6th insurrection. They've changed that law to make it harder to challenge the electoral votes of an election, presidential election. They put in $45 billion for the next year of aid to Ukraine, and whatever. This thing is it's called an omnibus. Omni means all. It covers all discretionary spending, military spending. In the 1.7 is $880 billion for our defense. That's inside there, and this is going to do the whole shebang until the end of the fiscal year coming up, which ends on September 30th.
And Ukraine as well.
All of it's in there, yeah. So the new Congress takes over on January 3rd. This stuff's already done. They don't have to do it. Now, they're going to do a lot of other things, lot of other issues and all, but the funding of the government is done for 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Did you like the way they portioned out the money?
Well, I don't know all of it, but I know that the mechanism they've done is become very frequent, which is wait till after an election and do this stuff in a lame duck session.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. They've always done that. What's not happening is we're not budgeting the way we used to, which is we have 12, I believe it's 12, I'm not sure, committees in the House and Senate that govern parts of the government.
Yeah.
And each of those committees is supposed to do a bill for the coming year, vote it out of the committee, vote it to the floor of the House or the Senate, where it gets voted on, and sent to the president. Well, we don't do that anymore. We just wait and wait and wait, don't do the 12 annual bills. We then wait till the lame duck, throw everything into one bill, this omnibus bill, and when they're all trying to rush out to go home for Christmas or avoid a snowstorm, they vote on one bill and be done with it.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing today. The Senate passed it the other night, 2 nights ago, I believe it was, after President Zelensky left. The Senate did it. And today it goes to the House sometime this morning and will be voted on today.
The other thing happening there, you mentioned him off the air, John. Give us a sense of who the next Speaker of the House might be.
Well, I know Kevin McCarthy is running for it and is the Republican leader. I am hearing little tidbits that he may not make it on January 3rd. He doesn't have the votes as of today, and that what will happen is he doesn't make it on the first vote, and they'll leave him, the Republican voters, and all. Well, let me stop. McCarthy can't get to 218. That's what you got to have, right? There are 222 Republicans. There are 5 or more Republicans who said they'll never vote for McCarthy. So let's hold them at their word. If there are 5 or more who won't vote for him, he can't get to 218.
No.
And at some point, they'll give up on him. The likely guy that will win is Steve Scalise, the current minority whip.
Yeah.
Who has no enemies as I understand it. He has no enemies.
Yeah, he seems like I don't want to say a straight shooter. The poor guy was wounded.
No, he got shot.
He's an honest, straight-ahead person that I've been told, that he's a decent guy, regular, everyday guy.
Yeah, a very decent guy. His best asset is he's a baseball player. He got shot during baseball practice for the annual congressional baseball game. And he has no enemies, as I understand it, in the House. So I could see if McCarthy falters here, and he is faltering, there's no doubt, then I could see them saying, okay, sorry, you can't make it. We're all going to support Scalise.
Aha. When does that...
Now, that happens on January 3rd. It's the first order of business when they swear in the new Congress.
Okay.
And it'll be under Republican control. They have to pick a new speaker.
Yeah. Wow.
Nancy Pelosi will hand the gavel to the new speaker, whoever that will be. But then we don't have one. I mean, obviously we don't have one yet. It doesn't look like McCarthy has the votes as of today. Now, there's still, 12 days to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, who knows? But as of right now, it's not looking great for him.
And very quickly, is it your congressman, John, that seems to...
He's my congressman-elect, George Santos.
What is it with him?
I'm glad you're chuckling, because it's the only thing you can do.
I know.
This guy, they brought back a term, which I don't hear that often in my life, a fabulist. You know that term?
No.
I want to look it up. What is a fabulist? I mean, it's someone who creates something out of whole cloth. It doesn't even exist. And everything about this guy's story, Phil, it's amazing how none of it's real. Yeah, a fabulist is a person who invents or relates fables, number one. Number two, a liar. Well, that's what this guy is. He lied about where he went to school, where he worked, whether he was married, where he comes from, a pet charity that he said he created. I mean, it just goes on and on. It never ends.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he survives. I don't know that he makes it to January 3rd. He's a Republican. The Republican leader here of Nassau County is demanding this guy answer all the questions satisfactorily. And I guess the threat is if you don't answer them, we're withdrawing support for you. Yesterday, Kevin McCarthy, running around the Hill, was asked by the press about Santos, and he won't answer it.
Wow.
Santos has gotten radioactive, and no one wants to talk about it.
We'll talk. Hey, how